Yeah, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of Shit Talking Time with your boy Grubs. If not me, who else? Time to do what we do best, and let's talk this shit. As we know, I've been on hiatus for quite some time. It was, definitely voluntary. A lot of people know how I am. I do a lot of other business things outside of just sitting on this shit talking about other people's business. Um, like I said, I got money before I came, to do this. This is actually just a hobby, so got to do what actually pays the bills. Um, First topic I got on hand today is this whole Dr. Umar thing. I wasn't even gonna chime in on it because, like I said, it's close to home, and nobody in the city is chiming in on it. But I'm noticing a lot of outside people are chiming in on it. I mean, for me, I don't know how to feel about it because I mean, if we stand at one point, I thought we stand all the way through. Um, Also, I wonder where's all the internet detectives digging up the information to either make them guilty or not guilty. It's just like a lot of strange conversations and execution. So for that one, that's all I'm gonna say about that one until I see some actual tangible proof. Um, I don't want to hear nothing about it from nobody that wanders in they drawers. I mean, I don't even remember as a child wandering in my drawers, damn sure not out of my bedroom or anywhere past the bathroom, let alone out in the hallway. So that was kind of weird to get traction, but I keep forgetting the space that we in. And a lot of times, like I say, I really don't belong in this space because I promise y'all I'll fucking fuck y'all up. But I mean, you can't fuck somebody up for their freedom of opinion. But when you spewing out bullshit, you're a weirdo, which just kind of don't sit right with me, and I hope it don't sit right with a lot of people. Um, Next, uh, this Flacco character. I've been seeing him doing a lot of little weird shit lately. Um, I know Flacco from Whack 100 about to sock him the fuck out. I don't know Flacco from anything else. Like I say, I would have to watch his content in order to pass judgment. So yes, I do watch the content, but I just be trying to get his angles and his narratives. He give me plant vibes. Very strange character, and I mean, for me myself, Flock, I'm gonna give you an honest opinion. What academics is the only weirdo that they allow in this space. We don't need another academic. But these academic actually had ties to the actual people. You be spewing a bunch of bullshit. And as I be watching it, because like I say, I don't make videos, on the average, but I still do my homework. I still do chime in. Like I said, I'm a fan of the podcast space too, just as much as I am as a content creator. So I still watch content every day. And it shit just weird. And I mean the whole little narrative, like not to get off topic, but like when they was trying to you got cats out here pushing the narrative that no jumper is getting niggas arrested. I mean, they bringing niggas up there that's poorly educated, tricking them into talking about criminal related acts and things like that. I mean, I can't lie because I watched the episodes. I see it. So if anybody who still want to be addicted to talking about no, I doubt it. I'm sorry, it's there. And I mean, like I tell niggas, I mean, I'm not being, it's hood shit, but many of motherfuckers that be out on the hood, you hit that right button, they might say some shit that gonna send them to jail for the rest of their life. Oh nigga, I did whoop de whoop and pussy, remember this? I did that, but you talking like you tough. You ain't never do no shit like this. It's a ploy. So a lot of the views that y'all see on these people videos, the likes, the comments, they're not people like me. The very few are because I read the comments and you can tell who like me and who ain't, and be like, yo, this shit a little strange. Like y'all moving a little weird, y'all. And then when certain people up there on no jump and start going back home and getting indictments and arrested and pulled in for shit, I'm sorry. It is what it is. I'm not blind. I can see straight. I can see good, and they hide behind a narrative The same narrative that Vlad had behind. I didn't put a gun to their head and make them say anything. And I respect Vlad for it because Vlad don't go playing around with fire. No jumper and Adam 22 loves playing with fire because his ass ain't never got burnt. And some of the times, like I say, I'm gonna hurt some feelings, but the truth is the truth. Y'all dick eating ass niggas allow that white boy to come in there and open up shop because he gave y'all some camera time. But none of y'all thought about the damage that he would do in the long run to y'all gangs, y'all culture, and y'all people. At the end of the day, bro, he came in there in Walmart as y'all nut asses because y'all weren't paying attention, bro. And I mean, a lot of people want to kick East Coast, West Coast, Midwest. Bro, ain't no nigga coming up Philly pulling no shit like Adam did down there. We don't allow outsiders, and if they do, they better be official through and through. But we not letting no goofy ass fucking white boy come over here and turn our whole coast against each other. You putting the nigga who beefing with this nigga, dude he beefing with up there to let him speak. Man, bro, y'all let that man play y'all, bro. And then actually it's sad because some of the African Americans fell right in suit with him for the sake of a check. I mean, I'm sorry to say if I'm wrong, but I think Adam from over here somewhere. Last time I think I checked, I think Adam from somewhere out in the outskirts of Pennsylvania somewhere. So y'all let a white boy from Pennsylvania come out there and dupe y'all whole coast and then become millionaire, make multi-millions off of duping y'all coast. I guess you say us East Coast niggas is pretty slick. As far as Vlad, I don't take no assumption to Vlad because Vlad is who he is. See what I'm saying? Like it's not like Vlad took our oath. I ain't never see Vlad get caught with no bricks. I ain't never see Vlad beat no indictments. I ain't see him do all this time and come back out like no street figure. So at the end of the day, Vlad is nothing but just like fucking a same person like you see on the news. He just called himself DJ Vlad. But that man's he's a reporter. He's a Gail King or one of them type people. Like I don't know why people get it fucked up. And then y'all sit there if a nigga go on 60 Minutes and tell on themselves 60 Minutes made them snitch. If a nigga get up on Gail King and tell the truth, Oprah, so on and so forth. Nah, it's not the simple fact you can't do that. You as a person need to be smart enough not to. I mean, I'm not gonna say no episodes because then people will be putting that shit on me. But I've seen quite a few no jumper episodes where niggas was tapped or got the chill, or, so some of them niggas came up there with thorough and they kept their mouth shut. I have seen a couple people do it on other platforms too. Like, no, I ain't talking about that. Why you keep bringing that up? So some people be on point, but the ones that really want to be somebody, they just say fuck it, and you see how it don't end well. But I mean, for me myself, it's just like I'm not calling it, but it's gonna happen. No jumper is gonna see his demise. It's reasons why Vlad will stand the test of time. Is the reason why Vlad is still allowed to eat in the culture. We'll get in that to a whole nother episode because that's my opinion, and I have a different breakdown of Vlad. But no jumper ain't gonna be around too much longer. Either somebody gonna be seriously hurt, that white boy gonna be seriously sued, and he gonna take him and his little skate hooker girlfriend and go back that way. Outside of that, that's all I see is I'm sorry, man. I love that movie, but he ain't gonna go that far. But that's all the time I got for no jumper today. It's just a very 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 strange topic, and I don't really want to give it too much time, but I definitely don't want to not speak my opinion. So that's what I got. Yeah, it was good with y'all. Next topic we got on the table today is I don't know if y'all keep up with the podcast called The Art of Digest. They just had Dame Dash on there recently speaking about I think Cam, I don't know if he was asked something or took it upon himself to mention something dealing about Dame finances and shit like that. Um, I'm gonna give y'all the comedy relief first. First and foremost, Cam, you should have fucking known better. This is the nigga who invented the reason why niggas call niggas pocket watchers. This nigga is the one who invented, really, to be honest, the pioneer of why niggas are how they are today. Being their own boss, not calling nobody daddy, all that weird shit. Come on, bro, let's be real. He did a lot. So it's like, why would you think, he wasn't going, come back and say nothing? Now, as far as being a big homie, he definitely responded in fashion, which I respect. Um, I know a lot of dick eaters click that video thinking he was gonna come at you. Oh, start doing dirt. I remember niggas they wedgied him in the hallway back when he ain't do none of that. That's what he did what the old head do. Come holler at me, youngin. We need to sit down because that shit wasn't thorough. And the next thing that I would lead on to say, a lot of people are ignorant as far as circumstances and situations. And I know Dame goes through a battle himself because he's, being as big as he was, that's a mogul. That's not an artist. That's a mogul. So when you hit mogul status, he was like to where he could tell you this is coming, go get it, go get it. So now it's a point in time where he noticing that the internet is so powerful that it even works against him. The mogul status doesn't matter against the internet, it's undefeated. The mogul status doesn't matter against the lies. If the lies, I tell you, if they're out there, they're gonna go the fuck off. They're gonna run. Ain't nothing you can do. You can make a million videos and sound bites telling the truth, but at the end of the day, watch and see how that lie spreads like wildfire. And I mean, I know that he's well adjusted because I watch how he handled, but I remember when he didn't understand the internet or how the internet could just take a lie, build a lie with so much steam that it can sell a million copies. Probably I done seen lies on this bitch that'll go diamond, have one diamond. See what I'm saying? But people don't understand how the algorithm pushes this negative output to us no matter what. Because it might have been a video or a clip in there where he said something rude, but then he said something nice, like, oh, well, Dame probably be high his moves. And he always was sneaky like that. He had something in the tuck. That part I never see the light of day. Not unless you sat there and watched the full episode or wherever platform or where that came from. And I'm noticing that about the internet. Even when, and I'm gonna tell y'all something funny, right? When you play with, because like I say, I don't just do this shit right here. See what I'm saying? I can't say too much, but I do a lot in the internet space. A lot farther than just podcasting. I actually work with a lot of these companies that you'll never think, but due to NDA, due to lifestyle and my attitude, I don't know. I'm not allowed to speak too much about it, but I can tell you this. Um, Even for me myself, certain things are in clause that you are not allowed to do. Certain things be in clause that you're not allowed to buy. So like I know a lot of times when people be like, okay, well, Dame Dash is broke. I ain't never seen nobody broke with no ranch. I mean, he still ain't get foreclosed on. I've been watching him make videos from their ranch for quite some time. So the IRS still ain't coming and take the ranch from him yet. Doesn't make sense, but nobody thinks that far to make it make sense. They just take the lie and they let the lie ride them off into the sunset. It's the truth. And that's the way that the world is subjected to now. It's just kind of pathetic, but I watch it and it sickens me, but it is what it is. And it tears down good people. I mean, if me myself, I don't want to, be getting my man in no IRS trouble, not like that. But I tell people, man, I got a feeling they ain't that still worth about 10, $15 million. I don't naturally think, because a lot of times when people say things like, if you listen to what he say, this is just my opinion. I could be wrong. To me, it sounds like he explains to you that he's not broke. In the same token, why not telling you he's broke? the reason why I say that I break that down, like think about the moves that he done made. Like a lot of people don't understand. Rachel Roy, I think her name is, was married to him or got kids by him, made a lot of moves in the fashion scene, tons and tons of other moves outside of Dame Dash, which was orchestrated and also assisted by Dame Dash. So I'm not understanding that there was no legal paperwork between y'all two. Or was it? And the world just never knew because Rachel Roy, she never came out and said nothing crazy. See what I'm saying? It just he was saying that he felt as though that he should have got a little bit more recognition, and see that's because Dame Dash was the early Kanye West, and I'm gonna have y'all laugh. A lot of y'all gonna laugh, and a lot of thorough people gonna be like, "Yo, that man right." Yes, Dame Dash was the early Kanye West. He just was too early. I remember when Dame Dash bought the company Procast. We remember Procast back in the day. That's when he got smarter and said, "You know what? Fuck it. Same way I made Roc-A-Fella from scratch. What if I buy a brand that's already known and revamp it and make it something else?" And I'm just keeping it real. Niggas was all over the streets wearing Procast. If a nigga say they wasn't, they lying. I didn't have any, but I know tons of niggas that did. Um, So for that reason, that's kind of strange. And I mean, just thinking about his antics. I mean, I watch Ultimate Hustle whole series. Um, I remember he was selling Dame Dash motor oil. Like I remember everything. It's like I tell people, when you get into a hustle, you can't lose because I'm gonna give you this last opinion that I see, and this is like I say, I don't know nothing about what that man got or what he do, but this is what I will tell you. As an entrepreneur, we just gonna give you something hypothetical, right? Now, Dame Dash has a son named Boogie who owns a cookie company. I also used to watch the growing up hip hop show. That's how I know the whole ordeal. Um, I was taking a flight somewhere, ended up in Chicago, seen some of the cookies, tried them. You know, cookies are good as shit too. But the part that amazed me was they were selling in the airport. Now, for y'all who don't know, it ain't easy to get sell space in the airport. It's like a big thing. It comes up every so many years. That's why you see Ludacris restaurant is in there all this time because he landed a pretty good contract to keep it in there in the airport as long as based on performance. I'm guessing because I don't think they're going to keep a dead restaurant there. But he probably landed like a 15-20 year deal with the airport to keep it there. Kind of like PF Chang and the rest of the restaurants do this inside of these airports. But it was pretty cool to say that. So you want me to believe that a boy that has cookies in the airport selling, because they're probably selling way more than just in the airport, but to see them in the airport knowing he obtained that kind of space, his father ain't broke. Sorry, Dame, I don't mean to be ratting on you, bro, but his father ain't broke. Number two, he acquired the mansion later. And then not only that, oh man, he gonna definitely get me for snitching. A lot of people look past people they self too. For me myself, I'm not saying that he built Rocky, but he got a real wife. I mean, they're whatever, they probably got moves that we know nothing about. Tons of moves. And his moves probably ain't moved right, but her moves did. Everybody always playing for the negative to look for the. Yeah, and that's like what a lot of people forget about because like business moves, not pointing things out and so on and so forth. Yeah, so certain things, like I said, I'm gonna break it down and people forget. I'm gonna give you one and one, right? Now a lot of people notice he's been sneaking slowly but surely back into music. Now the problem that people gotta remember, he can't be blackballed because the work that he did. So he might have had 100 connections and pissed off 20, he still got 80. That's how he's able to walk back into music. That's how he's able to do the American New and things like that. Now let's get into the terms of what they say units, right? Now, the rock and roll band that he has, it can release music independently, which a lot of music does come out independently. Independent music doesn't always make the main market. So, say for instance, behind him and their own fan base, they built a following of close to, let's say, 1 million people, and 300,000 of them actually purchased their music independently. No label, no three-man cut, independently. The split probably 80-20, 80 them, 20 them. Um, those are the numbers that people got to worry about because independently, that's a lot of money. Another thing I'll point out, American New. Now you got people who paid, like, cause I mean, I don't know if anyone took their time to check it out. The shit is actually grown. Like the shit is grown. We tried to reach out in the beginning for one of the other shows that me and my buddy was doing, but I don't think we followed up with it. And I wish we could have got on early because it was new and we could have got on a lot lower and probably would have got a lot more traction because I really think we had something great at the time. So, and looking at it now, it's like, oh wow, they definitely probably gonna have us on the waiting list and we gonna have to prove that we this and that and all this other stuff because it's growing. And then a lot of things that people gotta understand that people like him has what they call secret imprints. Um, if I'm a person that's a villain, as people say about him, right? I have power. Remember those 80 people that I didn't piss off? Fuck the 20. The 80 I didn't piss off. I still keep those connections with them. So I'm still able to do things where I can make a call and get this person in the situation. I can make this call and get this person on this, or I can make this, or I can put some money into this, blow some breath into it, and then it was kaboom, and then I get residuals from that. And that word residuals is a lot of things that people got to understand. Residuals is powerful, and that's what a lot of famous people and entrepreneurs live off of, residuals. So if you think that man ain't getting no residuals, you fucking stupid. It's just the stuff that we don't care to know about because he didn't tell us. Or somebody out there, of course, a hater not gonna tell you where a nigga really get money from, because then that would mean they can't call him broke. See, sometimes you gotta think past what the person says and just use your own brain. But me myself, I solely do not think that nigga broke. For years he's been giving y'all steps and steps of how he is. I don't keep my money around me. I keep it invested. I actually took that from him. I don't keep my money around me. I keep it invested because as long as it's invested, it's growing. And it's not around me for me to buy a Bentley or a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. But if I need to grab a nice piece of property, I can liquidate some of this shit and I can buy what I need to buy and I can go right back on my gristle. Also, too, I mean, I see me and him seem a lot alike. I like new money. He didn't say I created Roc-A-Fella. Now I'm gonna go into depression because it's gone. No, he created new money, new situations, new opportunities. That's where I tell people it's a difference between being great and gifted. Gifted people can do things like that. They can continue. I'm not saying Jay-Z isn't gifted. Like some people say, the gift of gab is a gift too. But I'm talking about physical. I can name a lot of people that's like that. They're physical geniuses because the way that they're able to do what they do. So for that reason, this is like one of the pioneers of it, of my era. So I'm not gonna never say that nigga broke. I got a feeling if that nigga wanted to get a Bentley tomorrow, he can buy a Bentley. If he wanted to buy a Audemars or 150, he can buy it. I'm willing to guarantee you he can. I don't want to get him in trouble with IRS. I don't know him, but I'm just saying my mind is not slow. And videos and narratives don't fly past me just because who say it or who platform is on. I'm not stupid. Nobody can say one thing and erase what I know and what I see. And I understand it's just closed. Like for instance, people will look at this. Just another example before we roll out, right? Do anybody ever have an idea to know how much or how a CEO stuff is selling? Because in clothes world, you don't have to sell a lot to make a lot. He can sell 100,000 articles of clothing per month, and that's a nice chunk of change. If he's selling a vest for $70, which probably costs him $5 to $7 to make, let's say high quality, $12, and I'm reselling it for that. So if he sell, once again, a couple 100,000 units per year, he ain't gotta be selling millions. It ain't gotta be in all the shelves. He can do that online. Just saying, the glasses, the sneakers, the socks. People gotta realize when it comes to a product, because I mean I do clothes myself, but what one person don't like, don't mean everybody ain't. It's just that's not your person. So your object as a businessman is to get it in front of as many people as you can. That way you get your group. And once you get your group, they'll start pushing it up the hill, and then others will see it, and then you keep promoting, keep promoting, keep promoting. But I guarantee you, and I tell people this is a marketing strategy I took myself a long time ago based off a lot of people I watch. Keep it in front of their face. Like, say for instance, if you sitting on a bus, this is just any person, don't matter you got a car or not, shut up. But if you sitting on the bus stop and you watch a bus come past rap with a rap 2 times, please tell me you're not going to remember that bus rap. So if I have a business and I can now, actually people don't realize he's a lot more powerful with the internet. The crazy part about the internet actually made him more dangerous, because before social media, Instagram, he was quiet, and it was way they could keep him quiet. You might see him on Breakfast Club or something like that, but for the most part, he was quiet. The internet gave that nigga a voice, and he don't be playing. And that's why I kept saying you can't silence him, but for so long, and when you do, the genius is going to get out, and then he's going to stir shit up. People always looked at him as like a bad entity because that's the way that we was pushed. Nah, the nigga just had a passion for what he did, and you weren't gonna get over on my people. I see what it was with him. And I mean, honestly, the real ones say exactly that's what it was. It's just that some of them will say, no, other people wanted to be everything. And if in the beginning they was comfortable doing a role as an act. And then eventually they wanted to go from being an act to running the show. And it just so happened that act had, notoriety, and he was the one that was the act. So I can go play for this team and guarantee them a couple chips. And then they giving me, notoriety to be him now. I'm just saying, man, I watch a lot and I've been around for a while, but that's another show. This was mainly just to say, you can't judge a man from what you know. I mean, I don't know if he called you, Cam, and begged you for money. Now, if he ever called you and begged you for some money, now you have all right to do what you did. But as a fellow brother, big homie, at one time put coin in your pocket too, I just don't feel you should have touched on that topic. Or if it is the new promotional tactic where you was throwing your OG a oop to get him back in the spotlight to run some traffic, then I'm sorry. Which y'all can't tell me that's the case. So I'm sorry if that's the play. But if that ain't, I just, wish I just wish it would have been another nigga pushing that narrative and not you. And I mean, for that reason, it can't really hurt my feelings. But as always, thanks for chiming in. And I mean, it's great to be back, man. I got a lot to say. I got a lot to say. And like I tell people, my mindset is coming back to the old me. So you're gonna get a lot of, real shit about my mouth, and we gonna talk. And then I'm actually I got some cool guests that's gonna come through. We gonna have some fun, man. I can't great to be back. I mean, I tell people, I give y'all a little tidbit, I like a little tidbit as far as in the podcasting space, because I always like to give my viewers game. See, some of the times people gotta understand with this podcast shit, man. You got a lot. dealing into this. You can do it on a smaller scale like now, whereas, me in a room, virtual background, microphone, computer, couple lights, things like that. But I'm starting to appreciate what I do, and I'm actually starting to enjoy it because a person actually came to me. It was like my familiarness to them, because I didn't know this person with a can of paint. And they was like, do you be doing these videos on YouTube, just talk about random stuff? And it just so happened, they was talking about a video which I told people I need to really do a part two, which is the gatekeeping, John. Here. The gatekeeping issues. Um, so I mean, that's what kind of made me get up and make this video today, because I do miss doing it, but people gotta realize I do have a fully functional business, not a job. So I have a business to run. So in between, I get time and I can actually sit there and do it. And that be rare at the time. I mean, I got days and I can do the same thing like I used to and write out a bunch of Jones and just do a bunch of shows back to back. But when I watch back at those episodes I gave y'all with me doing that, it's not the same. So I'd rather record fresh for each topic versus try to compile, because I got like 10 topics in my head. But I also told myself I want to go and drill people with the 10 topics in one video. I'm gonna just space it down. So then next video I'll give you another two topics that's been on my mind, and then another two topics, and then we'll go from there, because it's all about a building process. But the next steps of it is where it gets a lot better because equipment gets better. We switch over to 4K now. We got better audio equipment and so on and so forth, because people gotta understand that this platform was built based off of I don't want to say conglomerate, but a network. Me and my buddy started out with a podcast called Chronic Cinema, which was what really got me from being like back in the day, just some dude ranting about a bunch of random stuff, to actually having content, a topic, a purpose and stuff. So it birthed my mind to want to say, well, damn, it's one of my closest friends. So I say, I know the business. So why not make us as profitable as possible? So I started to my gears start spinning. So I start thinking about other platforms, such as the one that we on now, Urban Tasters. I got one for females. Like I got a few different genres that I play with. One for music. Like it's it start popping in. So when I thought about it, I'm like, okay, bang, we gonna try to pitch a network deal. I'll sit back and take my time throughout the whatever years while we building this show up, and I can get these other ones, get people in position, because after we did Chronic Cinema, I kind of told myself I won't put my face on another platform, only because it's like after a while I don't want to water the shit down, because then people won't wonder like, how the fuck is this dude recording on all this stuff? I That's why I said what I said. I was like, nah, I'd rather just use my mind and I'll meet people and put them on the show, like the female joint. I got a joint like the View. See what I'm saying? But it's like different, and it got twists. Like, yeah, it's just wait. But when I put this stuff together, it was like, okay, so when we go to a person, we'll get a bigger bag for our show. See what I'm saying? I even got it broke down. It's broke down all the way down to the T. I don't know if anybody, y'all guys ever got into it and wondered, like, damn, where do I hold my content? I got my own content hosting service. So when I put my when I put my content on Spotify and all them type sites, they want you to host it somewhere, and you can host it some way through them for a fee. So I covered that ground. And then I have a background in website building. That's actually where my fame came from, my websites. So those connections still stay intact. We could build you a website for your show. Okay, I can get the same thing done, and I got some great people who can build you every feature you want. See what I'm saying? The opportunities and features is endless. So that's why I be like, it's a lot of things that when I get a deal, you're going to have to offer me a lot. And that's what I was trying to bring to the table because I've been here before. I done sat down with big box companies across the table. Like, no, that ain't gonna fly, huh? No. See what I'm saying? I've been there before and I know how they, all right, man, what'll work with you? See what I'm saying? I ain't had 50 suits and none of that. No, you just standing your ground. I went by my gut. But it put me through the trench so I know what they want when it's time to offer that bag. They ain't just gonna offer a bag because you got a bunch of content. You can have 500 shows, but it's a bunch of pieces. They gotta see that you business sound, your apparel. You got apparel out an outlet. See what I'm saying? You maximizing your revenue of what you're doing. And that's why I was good because I was good at marketing first. And believe it or not, I always tell people when I first started out doing anything online, that's the first part that I learned was the marketing. I learned the building and the web design later. I learned the marketing first because this is the term that you got to remember as far as, and this is a very valuable tidbit I'm going to leave you all with. If you're a person, and this deter a lot of people, I can understand if you're a popular person, you're a socialite, you have 56,000 social media followers. Yes, that would automatically think it constitutes for you to start a business. A lot of y'all fucking fail because at the end of the day, you're not business people. And there's a lot of people out there that don't have a 56,000 followers that are excellent business people and could kill out here and they don't do it because they feel who's going to come spend money with me. Internet marketing. That is your answer. Anybody that you can get your advertisements in front of, anybody that you see. I started businesses in a place where I wasn't even from. You know what I did? I frequented Walmart, shopping malls, flyers on flyers on windows. See what I'm saying? You'll be surprised how many people jumped in a car, called. It's don't ever think because you don't have a humongous following that you can't be something. Even with this internet, I mean, it's this shows right here. You may think, yes, the biggest part is your content, quality content, because that's what they want. But then the next step at the quality content is great title, good lengthy description, great keywords, all the bells and whistles, professional thumbnails. Like it's stuff that people don't understand that can take you to the same place as the same person. I mean, with that person with 50, 60,000 followers, and then you can be bigger because yours was organic. So when you get to your 50, 60,000, your 50, 60,000 gonna be putting money in your pocket. Theirs ain't never put a dime in theirs outside of lights. Just saying, man. Leo with that tip. But as always, man, thanks for chiming in with your boy. As always, it's a pleasure to be back, and I ain't going nowhere this time. We about to run it up, man. It's getting cold. We gonna be in here for the winter because I don't do much when it get cold. So you gonna get all the videos all winter long. All winter long, you gonna get them Jones. But if y'all haven't subscribed to the channel, please make sure y'all do. Please smash that like button, man. Help us get up in this algorithm. Like I said, I've been working on this channel almost 2 years. I definitely like to start doing a little more. I got some collabs I reached out to, which I think might come back too, because a lot of people just like my energy off of camera too. So we gonna see what we can get y'all this, this go around, and it is what it is, man. But see you guys next time.